Hey, Shalawam, we the GMS Louisiana Saints here to bring you a lesson. Before we get started, we want to give infinite honors and prayers to
YAHAWAH, bahasham, Yahawashi, bahasham,
double honors to the elders and apostles who taught us this word in truth and sincerity. Peace and salutations to the brothers of GMS. And we're going to go ahead and get started with a lesson about being a soldier in this truth, because it goes hand in hand of being a soldier in the U.S. Army, you dig, or in the military throughout, and it also goes hand in hand of what you need to be a righteous man in this truth.
Yeah, because the Lord raising up an army right now, right in front of the eyes of our enemies. You know, you have soldiers in the U.S. Army that are fighting for wickedness. They're fighting in Satan's army, and we're fighting for the Lord's army. You got the Exodus right quick?
Yeah, I got the Exodus.
Because the Most High, we're His sons. And so the first thing you need to understand when you come into the truth is that the Lord is not that Ned Flanders Christianity. He's not a so-called white man surrounded by flying babies that are naked. He's actually, as the brother's going to read it.
No hugs and kisses.
Yeah.
Lord, not with that, man. This is Exodus 15 and verse 3. The Lord is a man of war. The Lord is His name.
God.
All right?
And the Lord in all caps is what? YAHAWAH.
YAHAWAH.
God. But He's a man of war. He's raising up an army right now, as it tells you in Ezekiel. You mind if I get that real quick?
God, you can bring it up.
All right. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 37, verse 9. Then said He unto me, prophesy unto the wind, prophesy, son of man, and say to the wind, thus saith the Lord YAHAWAH, come from the four winds, O breath, and breathe upon these slain that they may live. Going back to Revelation 11 and 11, those dead bodies that lie in the great city, the Spirit came upon us to rise up. And this is what the scriptures describe us as. It says, so I prophesied as He commanded me, and the breath came into them, and they lived, and stood upon their feet, an exceeding great army. Okay.
God.
If I could add something, like we went over, like the elder brought out on the Shabbat lesson, you know, this word is waking up those sleeper cells, all right, which composes the spiritual army, all right, the spiritual army of Yahawashi. You got it, brother.
Come. Right here I got 2 Timothy 2 and 3. It says, thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahawashi Mashiach. No man that warreth entangled himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please Him who hath chosen him to be a soldier. Just that being said, we are soldiers in this truth. You did? Yahawashi Abaratazah, we are those men. We are those soldiers that has a duty that we need to fulfill in this truth. You dig? And we do not, what it says right here, no man that warreth entangle himself with the affairs of this life. Hey, we ain't putting nothing, we ain't investing into this world no more. You dig? We ain't dealing with this no more. So, again, we have a duty to fulfill. And we're going to go ahead and get into some qualities of a soldier. You dig? They got something in the army that's called the 7 army values. The quality that, that they expect to be a good soldier. You dig? But these 7 army values also do apply something that you need in this truth also.
And that's spiritual. What does 7 represent in the scriptures?
Completion.
So it's a complete value, a system of values that you need to survive and thrive in this truth.
Okay.
You got something?
Start it off.
Yeah, just to give the 7 army values, what we're going to highlight in this video is loyalty, duty, respect, selfless service, honor, integrity, and personal courage. Which that alone, if you really understand this thing, this is something that you really need to be brotherly in this thing, to be a good soldier. That is actually a quality of a soldier. The first one that we're going to go ahead and knock down is loyalty. The quick definition that they have on the Army values is it's to bear true faith and allegiance to the U.S. Constitution, the Army, your unit, and other soldiers. Bearing true faith and allegiance is a matter of believing and devoting yourself to something or someone. A loyal soldier is one who supports the leadership and stands up for fellow soldiers by wearing the uniform of the U.S. Army. You are expressing your loyalty, blah, 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 all that BS. But we know who our allegiance is to. Our allegiance is to Yahawashi. You dig? And again, the topic is that we are in his army. You dig? And loyalty is something that's very big in this truth. You dig? Y'all brothers got a precept?
First, I want to get the etymology of this word loyalty. It says loyal, true or faithful in allegiance. So to be loyal is to be faithful. And who's more faithful than the servants of Yahawashi? All right, Hebrews the 11th chapter defines faith clearly, and that entire chapter goes into examples of faithful men and our forefathers. Man, you have to be loyal in order to be a good soldier. And this is King David, who's the leader of the house of David, the Lord's army. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 137, verse 5. If I forget thee, O Jerusalem, let my right hand forget her cunning. If I do not remember thee, let my tongue cleave to the roof of my mouth, if I prefer not Jerusalem above my chief joy. So King David was in the spirit of Israel first, which every Israelite man should have that in mind. You shouldn't come into the truth and be thinking about saving the heathen. And even more importantly, the scriptures tell you in Romans, they're not all of Israel which are of Israel. You have Israelites that really don't care about the Father. They don't care about their own salvation, their own heritage. So they're counted as outsiders. You're supposed to be loyal to the body, those that believe. You got it.
Well, you got it. I'm looking for
Okay. I got Hebrews 10 and 38. Now the just shall live by faith, but if any man draw back, my soul shall have no pleasure in him. You did? So if you not loyal to Yahawashi, if you're not in this thing, and then, which we know this is all about him, it's all about the will of Yahawashi. If you are not of that, the Lord ain't got no pleasure with you. You dig? He has no dealings with you. He wants nothing to do with you if you're not riding with him. Verse 39, but it says, but we are not of them who draw back into perdition, but of them that believe to the saving of the soul. You dig?
God. We're not like them, man. We're not like these people in the world. We're not like these Christians that claim to believe in the Bible, but they won't stand up for it. The scriptures tell you in Psalms, who will rise up against the evildoers? Who's going to stand up for the Lord? That great exceeding army in Ezekiel the 37th chapter. You have to be a soldier to stand up for the Lord. You have to be a soldier to be part of the Lord's army. There's no women on the front lines. We're not it's not a 50-50 thing. There's no gender equality in the truth. And that includes you men that are in the spirit of women. Scripture says, gird up thy loins like a man.
Man.
Yeah.
I just was agreeing.
You got something? Or I got
Sweet, you got it.
Okay, this is this Second Maccabees, the 7th chapter, which this whole chapter is good, but I want to start at the top because it goes into the mind state of someone that's a soldier, someone that has someone that's loyal. All right, the first quality on the list is loyalty, and this is a prime example. This is 2 Maccabees chapter 7, verse 1. It came to pass also that 7 brethren with their mother were taken and compelled by the king against the law to taste swine's flesh, and were tormented with scourges and whips. So this was during the Greek captivity. We were being Hellenized. Our people were being destroyed and taken away from our heritage. And there were soldiers that stood up for Yahawashi. Let's see what the first son says. This is verse 2. But one of them that spake first said thus, what wouldest thou ask or learn of us? We are ready to die rather than to transgress the laws of our fathers. So you see, he's not only loyal to the Most High, he said the laws of our fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the 12 tribes of Israel. Being loyal it goes deeper than making a vow to the Most High. You have people that don't even believe in the Most High that say they believe. He specifically said these are the laws of our fathers. He made it real. He put it in the flesh. Like, look, these are the laws of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and the 12 tribes of Israel, and we're ready to die for them. That's loyalty. You got Jake in the military. They're ready to die for Esau's army. They're ready to die for a country that believes in child support, that believes in taking a man's children and using them against him, that believes in soldiers coming back and getting their disability taken from them. You got soldiers living under a bridge. You're loyal to an army like that, but you won't be loyal to Yahawashi. in the kingdom of heaven?
An army that betray their own people, Shalawam.
Yeah. God. Yeah, you loyal to an army that's not loyal to you. The U.S. government's not loyal to U.S. citizens. It's not loyal to U.S. veterans. But they're asking you to be loyal to them.
If I could say one thing to add to that is that, you know, me being a former centurion, you dig, of that Roman army, you ain't nothing but another number. That's what they call you. You ain't nothing but another number. At the end of the day, another man's gonna come in there and take your place. And if he don't give his put his life on the line like he should, hey, the next man up. They care less about you in this world.
Yeah. Henry Kissinger said that, man. Like, no one's dumber than a soldier. Like, the people that rule an army, see, it's not like the ancient world. In the ancient world, the king of Israel would be on the front line. Even the other heathen armies, the kings would go to war with the soldiers. We live in a world now where politicians who've never put their hand to the plow, they've never seen combat, they're marching millions of men onto their deaths. This is a wicked society. This world is not ruled by warriors. This world is ruled by cowards. And this is why you see so much turmoil, because it's nothing for me to just push a button and send your son off to die, but my son is somewhere in Yale, in Harvard, and Princeton. That's for your sons. Your sons can go out there and die for the bankers. All right. The Lord's army is the complete opposite. Every man, he has to be on the front line. You have to work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. You can't just say, well, look, I've been in the truth for 10 years. Y'all go out and teach. I'm going to stay here. You know, it's hot outside. I don't feel, no, man. Every Israelite man that believes in Yahawashi, Yahawashi, he's out there, man.
And if I may add, brother, you know, with being out there on that front line, you know, you getting spiritual bullet wounds, you know, different afflictions to your physical and your spiritual, you know. Hey, with all that being said, our Lord, Yahawashi Yahawashi, he's not going to leave us to rot, man. You know, as long as we continue and keep up with the work, all right, and give our bodies a living sacrifice faithfully, all right, and wholeheartedly, hey, it's, you know, we're going to be redeemed. And I got a precept, 1 Peter 4:12, all right? And this is just covering, you know, the afflictions that we go through on a day-to-day basis. All right, some brothers more than others, but in like manner, we all getting afflicted for the Lord's sake. All right, it's not for our own selves or some cheap purpose. All right, to go over and collect poppy seeds from a foreign nation or, you know, oil. Nah, this is for the kingdom of heaven, eternal rulership. All right, this is 1 Peter 4:12. It says, "Beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened unto you. But rejoice inasmuch as ye are partakers of Hamashiach's sufferings." All right, so we have a top general that's going to share, all right, the spoils of war with us. All right, if you fight in this physical army for Esau Edom, what you gonna receive? You know, a couple $100,000 a year, whatever, while they making billions and trillions upon your sacrifice. You know, you lose brothers in that army, and what you gonna do? Compensate them with, you know, a new house, a new car? Nah, you lost a man. There's no way to repay that. But over here on this side, we're promised to get those men back and also reap the benefits with the Lord. All right? It says, I'm gonna start back at 13. "But rejoice inasmuch as ye are partakers of Hamashiach's sufferings, that when his glory shall be revealed, ye may be glad also with exceeding joy. And ye be reproached for the name of Hamashiach. Happy are ye, for the spirit of glory and of Yahawah rested upon you. On their part, he is evil spoken of, but on your part, he is glorified." All right? So not only, you know, these other nations looking at us, not only Esau is looking down on us, but all these other nations, all right? We all They got brothers all across the globe being persecuted, which is going to ramp up more. But we all being persecuted for Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi. All right? Your brothers got it.
I got a precept right here. This is Matthew 16:25. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it, and whosoever will lose his life for my sake shall find it. So, right there, we know that if you're trying to maintain any type of lifestyle over here, or if you're going to the army or any type of military service for the glory or some shit, it's nothing at the end of it. You dig? But if we be loyal to Yahawashi, which this is about right now, if we are loyal to him, we're gonna find everlasting life at the end of this. You dig? No matter.
The incorruptible crown.
Come. Striving for the masters. Come. So, for whosoever will save his life shall lose it, and whosoever will lose his life for my sake shall find it. So, I mean, the point was pretty much made, but it's being loyal to Yahawashi. It's a reward that we can't even imagine that's going to come out of this.
That's right.
You dig? And that's part of being that soldier. A soldier, any type of soldier, even in the streets, everybody think they soldiers out here, but they loyal to the streets. They loyal to their gang or whatever. They loyal to their hood or whatever. It's nothing that's gonna come out of that. But us being the real soldiers, I brought this out again that we are those men. Man, it's
which is unfathomable. I have not seen.
Con.
We can't even fully describe what's coming to us. And we talk about the kingdom daily. We can never. we just gotta endure to the end so we can see it.
Got a beautiful precept for you. Just backing up what you just said, brother. It's on 2nd Ezra 7:57. It says, Then he answered me and said, This is the condition of the battle, which man that is born upon the earth shall fight, that if he be overcome, he shall suffer as thou hast said, but if he get the victory, he shall receive the thing that I say. All right. And this was the archangel Uriel talking to Esdras, explaining to him about, the end. All right. So basically, Esdras was caught up to speed on, the vision that he was seeing, and he wanted to know, how would the end look? And Uriel gave him, the answer, and he also gave him, hey, this is what you're gonna either receive that destruction on this side or receive that salvation on this side, but you have to endure until the end. All right.
And he said, you'll get the victory. We already got the victory through Yahawashi Mashiach. That's another thing about being a soldier in the spiritual army. We already know who's going to win. The game's rigged.
Okay.
Esau sent Jake and these low-level Edomites. He sent them off to war, and the elites, they control both sides of the war. They fund both sides of the war, and they profit from both sides of the war. But the Most High is in control of him. He controls every war, and he's rigged this final world's war to end with Israel coming out on top, the elect.
Beautiful. The loyalty, we could go on and on about it, you dig? But we're just gonna go to the next army value, which is duty, which we know that we have a duty to fulfill, and it's true. You dig? I'm gonna go ahead and start off.
Let me get the word duty right quick.
Come.
It's the word duty, late 14th century, dute, which is obligatory service, that which ought to be done. Also, the force of that which is morally right, and the root word is due. What you're due, what you're owed. So we have a duty to Yahawashi. We owe him. He doesn't owe us. You have a lot of people like, what can the Lord do for me? No, you owe the Lord. That's the root of duty. It's due. You got it out.
The army value duty, it says, to fulfill your obligations, doing your duty means more than carrying out your assigned task. Duty means being able to accomplish tasks as part of a team. This team, we already know what team we're a part of, but also we know that we have, again, we're going to do more than just the assigned task. You dig? Like we can just go out to the block. You dig? And that'll be it. We could just go ahead and read, and that'll be it. But we're trying to do more. This whole thing is about doing more, not being complacent, and continue again to do more. You dig? It's a duty. It's more on a mission statement than, simple things. You dig?
Like the scripture say, how far can one go for the Lord? That's an unmeasurable task right there. That's a never-ending task. Even when we get into the kingdom of heaven, we still won't be able to finish that task. We're gonna keep doing this, and we're gonna love to do it. But I got a precept for you, bro. This is Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 1. It says, I therefore, the prisoner of the Lord, beseech you that ye walk worthy of vocation wherewith ye are called. And I have that word vocation, and it's just through the Google search. It says a strong feeling of suitability for a particular career or occupation. All right, and some synonyms for that is a calling, life's work, mission, purpose, all right, employment, business, because this is a business. We've been employed by the Lord to continue his business. Like you said, brother, we are obligated to continue this business and run it the proper way, run it right.
And what did Yahawashi say? I'm about my father's business. And his father's a man of war. So if you're about your father's business, you're going to be a soldier.
That's simple and plain. Simple and plain, man.
I guess I'll go ahead and get into this first precept on the duty. I have Romans 12:1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yahawashi, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, wholly acceptable unto the Most High, which is your reasonable service. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of Yahawashi. So, right here, this is a duty of us, of the body. You dig? We are the soldiers, and this is one of our duties, to present our body as a living sacrifice. You dig? Not to be no keyboard warrior, to stay behind, the laptop and all. You dig? What's some other?
The drive-by, Shalawam.
Oh yeah,
drive-by. Yeah. Come on, man. It's more on the mission statement that we have to do. You dig? And this is just one of them alone, of one of many of duties that we are to uphold in this truth.
If I could add, brother, think about the army. Those men don't enjoy what they're doing
at all.
Got to get up early mornings, way past the crack of dawn. You don't get much to eat. You constantly doing things that you have the bare minimum. You're doing things that you don't like to do. But we love to do this, man. It's an honor and it's a blessing to be called to do this work. And like I read earlier, this come with fiery trials, but we take it with good cheer. Like it's prescribed to that, I think it was 1 Peter, right? This fiery trial that we go through, it increases us. So we learn to love it. But first coming into the truth is like, it's a major turning point from your previous life, that old man, and this new man that's coming on to you. You start to get accustomed to battling demons and different situations, but then you learn to love it. You constantly got brothers encouraging you to keep going and to keep pushing. We going to war alongside each other. All right?
Brothers in arms.
Patching each other's wounds, all right? In a spiritual sense. All right, and if it comes to a physical sense, not on no warfare type deal, but brothers have different ailments, and you have brothers who have special gifts that the Lord gave them to deal with the herbs and things of that nature. So, hey, we spiritual warriors. All right, you got it, bro.
It's 1 Peter 1 verse 18. For as much as you know that you were not redeemed with corruptible things as silver and gold from your vain conversation received by traditions from your fathers, but with the precious blood of a Mashiach, as of a lamb without blemish and without spot. So when you go to Deuteronomy 28 and 68, it tells you no man shall buy you. The nation of Israel is not going to be redeemed by a regular man. We're redeemed by the blood of Yahawashi Mashiach, which means we were bought without a price, man. We were bought with precious blood, which means we owe him. Going back to the word due. The duty is for you to serve the Lord and be ready to die for the ministry the same way that Yahawashi was ready to die for us. That's a duty.
I got a precept to back you up. This is Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High and keep His commandments, for this is the whole duty of man.
Beautiful.
And that's plain. It's literally plain that, again, this is another duty that we must uphold as being those good soldiers of Yahawashi Mashiach.
Straight to the point. So the whole conclusion of the matter. Fear the Most High, which how do you do that? By loving your brother as yourself, by keeping the commandments.
I was about to say, keeping the commandments.
Yeah.
That's it.
You got something? I got it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Something to just back up that Ecclesiastes, and let's find out what happened if you don't fulfill your duty. Because, like I said, of being a soldier, if you don't fulfill your duties out there in the field, it's death probably around the corner for you. You have to complete this mission. If you don't complete this mission to where it needs to be, man, it could be off with your head.
If I can add to you before you get that, brother.
Yeah.
All right, say you go AWOL. That's what they call it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you don't want to fight no more. You get left.
Right.
All right. So saying this truth, if you don't want to, continue on with the mission, man, the Lord gonna take the spirit from you. All right, and spiritually leave you on a battlefield. And what's out on the battlefield? The enemy. All right.
Demons.
And also to add with you, another thing of being AWOL is you're going to be hunted by your own people. They're going to find you. If you go AWOL out of the army, yeah, they're going to go ahead continue with their mission, but you are now an enemy of the state. You are now enemy of the U.S. because you signed a contract, which we signed a contract, a blood-in contract.
Blood in, blood out.
If you don't fulfill your obligations, you're going to become an enemy and you're going to be hunted down. And that's where this precept comes in at. 2 Chronicles 15 and 13, that whosoever would not seek the Lord Yahweh, power of Israel, should be put to death, whether small or great, whether man or woman. So that being said, if you don't fulfill your obligations, if you don't do your duties how we're supposed to be doing, it's easy for the Lord to just knock you off. It's something that we're supposed to follow in the footsteps of Yahawashi to the best of our ability. And if we don't choose to do so, which we don't have free will, but if we don't do so, it's off with our head.
I said earlier, subject to friendly fire. The Most High gonna make you an example in this world and in the world to come. You're gonna be known in the kingdom as a traitor, as a reprobate, as someone that didn't fulfill his duties. Everyone's gonna know who the men are that stood stiffly for the name and who the men are that had an opportunity to be part of 144,000 and took their hand off the plow.
That's right.
You're gonna be derelict in your duties.
Like I said, what's that? Second Esdras, man. Hey, we want to be a part of that. I know myself, and I'm speaking for the men that's on the side of me, man. The men that war with me. All right, we want to be a part of that innumerable multitude. All right, clothed in white garments, getting crowned by Yahawashi himself. All right.
We're not trying to make Captain make sergeant in Esau's army, trying to get a 401k, trying to have a nice house in the suburbs that's going to get hit with missiles. That's the furthest thing from our mind. We want to receive salvation and the crown of life from Yahawashi himself. Yeah, we can go on to respect.
Respect. You got a definition for that?
Yeah, respect is real simple. Spec means to look, like spectate or spectacle, and then you put the prefix "re" in front of that. It means to look back, basically. You look back on the things that someone's done. You look back on the things you've done. Respect goes into really fear and reverence. When you respect the Most High, that means you fear Him because you look at what He's done. Look what He did to the Egyptians. Look at what He did to all our enemies. Look what He did to the nation of Israel. A woman respecting a man. Look what a man is capable of doing. That's respect. So respect as it applies to the body and the army of Yahweh Bashem Yahawashi. Brother's going to read it.
What was that?
Are you going to read the definition from the army?
It's not really much. Treat people as they should be treated in soldiers' code. It's a lot of typical respect. Not typical respect.
Like generic type.
Yeah, generic, real generic.
Kind of.
But I have a precept of following what you're saying of us giving respect to the men before us.
Mm-hmm.
In 1 Timothy 5 and 7.
17.
Is it 17?
What the hell?
Double honors?
Yeah, 17.
Okay. 5 and 17.
I got it right here. You can break it down.
Come.
This is 1 Timothy 5, verse 17. Let the elders that rule well be counted worthy of double honor, especially they who labor in the word and doctrine.
And those elders and apostles, they made this way easier for us at this point in time. So it seems like it should be a no-brainer to give respect to those men who made it easy for us. So why not? That's why we start the lesson off with giving double honors to the elders and apostles. We're going to give that respect to our elders who taught us this word in truth and sincerity.
I got a precept for you too.
Just to add real quick, you said about the elders making it real easy for us. Back in the 90s, they didn't have Google. They didn't have Wikipedia. They didn't have YouTube. They couldn't just search for precepts, the way we do. They had to go walk all the way to the library. They had to search through hundreds of books. Each book, 100, 200, 300 pages just to find little bits of information to bring out to the body. Today, you just click Google, click a few words, it's right there. So you have to respect those men, and first and foremost, you have to respect that Yahweh Bashem Yahawashi put the spirit on those men, because they didn't wake up of their own volition. They didn't wake up one day, I want to be an elder apostle. I'm gonna just make myself an apostle of Israel. That's not even humanly possible, man. The spirit of the Lord had to be on those men, especially back in the 90s when Jake was dropping album after every album went gold, platinum. It seemed like America was going to go on forever. And they were prophesying the downfall and destruction of this place when the economy was booming. It's easy to prophesy World War III now. It's in the news. Prophesy World War III back in 1986. Prophesy the end of Babylon the Great in 1992. The spirit had to be on you. And those men are still, as it said, let me read this again. It says, let the elders that rule well be counted worthy of double honor, especially they who labor in the word and doctrine. And who's laboring? The apostles of great Millstone, man.
I got a brief for you.
You bring it up.
This Hebrews 12 and I'm gonna start at 9. Yeah, 9 is the point. It says, furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh which corrected us, and we give them reverence. Shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of spirits and live? All right, so just like the brother said, the elders, apostles, different heads of different camps, even elder brothers in these camps, man. We look up to those brothers as father figures, all right? And we receive correction from these men cheerfully, all right? Because if you go up one verse, it says 2 verses. Fuck it, I'm gonna just go up. Let me go up to 5, bro, and let me bring it on down to where we stopped at. It says, yeah, all right. It says, and ye have forgotten the exhortation which speaketh unto you as unto children. My son, despise not the chastening of the Lord, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him. And what you got to understand is this: these thoughts that we think and that these words that we say are not of our own. So when an elder brother, an apostle, or just a brother in the camp, heads of the camp, when they rebuke us, it's not of their own thoughts. That's the Lord rebuking us through those men. All right, I'm gonna keep going. Verse 6, it says, for whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth and scourgeth every son whom he receiveth. If ye endure chastening, Yahawah will deal with you as with sons. For what son is he whom the Father chasteneth not? But if ye be without chastisement, wherefore all are partakers, then ye are bastards and not sons. All right, so, and I'm gonna tie this back onto what we were talking about. Hey yo, we're giving double honors and respect, all right, unto the elders and to the apostles that have tread in this war before us. They broke through enemy lines and got us, into they let us gain access within this truth.
Yeah, that's spiritual. You said that because, like, when you in a war, like take Vietnam for example, you don't want to just have a group of men run in a straight line side by side into a landmine. You have a one man that goes through, he leaves footprints. Okay, there's not a mine right here. I could follow this man because he made it to the other end without getting blown up. So
I trust him.
Yeah, I trust the path.
The proof is in the pudding.
Yeah, I can see his footsteps. Okay, he didn't get blown up here. I'm gonna put my foot right where he put his foot right there. Right. I'm gonna put my next foot right where he put his. That way I don't get blown up. Jake out here trying to do their own thing. I know I'm an Israelite, but I don't need to go follow the elders. Then you end up making the same mistakes that they made in the 90s, same mistakes that they made in the early 2000s because you didn't want to follow righteous men. You got spiritual landmines in this thing. Matter of fact, while you in Hebrews, get 13 and 17. You'll get right back to you.
Con, this that's the one I was looking for.
Okay.
This was it. I was telling you about it. This is Hebrews chapter 13, verse 17. Obey them that have rule over you, and submit yourselves, for they watch for your souls, as they that must give account, that they may do it with joy and not with grief, for that is unprofitable unto you. And if I could say for a second, bro, hey, this is a powerful scripture. All right, it says, we submit ourselves because we have men that rule over our souls. They watch for our souls. All right, if it's nothing wrong with that, it's no negative to that. All right, these men, they watch over our souls, through the fear of Yahweh bahasham Yahawashi, because it was appointed to them that duty. All right, but they love it at the same time, and we love being ruled over. Some brothers don't have father figures, grandfathers, essential people in their lives to show them the different, core values of being a true man of Yahweh bahasham Yahawashi. And you gain that through these different men of the truth. All right, but you got it, bro. I just
to add what you said, being ruled over, but being ruled over in righteousness. This is men who is not steering us in any wrong path. They're leading us, through the will of Yahweh Yahawashi to our kingdom.
everlasting greatness.
Everlasting. Come on, man.
And Jake understands perfectly how to obey those that have to rule over you when he's in Esau's army or he's in Esau's corporation. Jake has no problem with order when he's taking order from Esau. But someone that looks like you, all of a sudden, I can't listen to him. He's just a man.
Right.
That nigga spirit, man. That nigga woman spirit, to be specific. You got to shake that off to become a soldier. You have to take orders. How you going to be a soldier? You can't take orders.
Every general has been a soldier.
A private, yeah.
Right. The lowest of the ranking, he put in hard work to become a general.
Yeah, you don't go to the general university and you just become a general without ever being a private.
Right.
You got to move up the ranks.
Right.
Yeah. I just want to go ahead and go to the next one because it goes hand in hand with respect and honor. You have a definition of honor? the etymology? Or
You got selfless service, huh?
I may have.
We do honor first.
Yeah, kind of, okay. Just because that goes hand in hand. I have the precept to go backing up of us respecting our elders and the men that came before us, because honor is also in our law. Exodus 20:12. Honor thy father and honor thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord Yahawah thy power giveth thee. Yeah, we honor our mother and father, but also we have spiritual mothers and fathers also. You dig? So
just went into
God, which the elders, apostles who have been before us, those are our spiritual fathers. The brothers, the older brothers in this camp that have been working long before us, they are our spiritual fathers. They're teaching us the game.
Yeah.
They're teaching us what's going on. So
And our spiritual mother is wisdom, so fear.
God.
That's who provides the sincere milk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any brothers got
Just real quick back.
everything.
Yeah, I had this under respect, but it's going to back up what you just said about honor. This 1 Peter 2:17. Honor all men, love the brotherhood, fear the Most High, honor the King. Servants, be subject to your masters with all fear, not only to the good and gentle, but also to the froward. So you're going to have elders that's straight to the point. You're going to have elders that's more tender, they might say something more smooth. You have to obey both of them, man. Just like if you're in Esau's army, you might have a lieutenant. You don't like the lieutenant, you still have to follow orders. You can't say, well, look, I don't like the way he said that. I don't like that nigga that told Kaya he was too aggressive.
Oh yeah.
You're a grown-ass man. You're talking too aggressive. He didn't say what you're saying is wrong, because what he said was clearly true, but he didn't like the way he said it. It just came out a certain way. That guy was clearly not a soldier. Our men are going to speak rough, man. We in hell. Brother, not going to sit and I got to spend 5 minutes to make sure my tone is exactly right.
Getting straight to the point.
Straight to business, man.
They're not doing that, man.
The point you just made with that, how emotional Jake is out here, is you can't give him nothing too soft.
Yeah.
You did? Because they're not going to respect you. But if you give it too loud, you being disrespectful to me. But if it comes to you, they want you to just feed it to me just right. Come on, man. Like,
It's got to be the perfect room temperature porridge.
Lukewarm.
Yeah, it can't be too hot, can't be too good. You got to be just right. That's an excuse to be a nigga, man.
Yeah.
You're basically saying the way that you're rebuking me, I don't accept it because of your tone.
Yeah.
You're not saying what you're saying is wrong because it's right. You just don't want to do it because you're a nigga. You're gonna die. You're not a soldier.
The Lord dealing with austerity.
God, he's an austere man.
I'm not dealing with no. That's. I don't want to get too vulgar and shit, but hey, Lord not dealing with that, bro.
Yeah.
Dealing with manly men. Y'all got it.
Yeah, that spirit is being raised back on the earth. So you want to go into honor and so.
The selfless service, that'll be biased. You can just run to selfless service. First of all, the selfless service, without reading the definition, is basically playing your part. You dig? It's the analogy that goes around that it's too many chiefs and no Indians.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody can't be the point guard, Jake. Everybody can't, in military terms, everybody can't hold the light machine gun. Everybody can't hold all the grenade launchers and so on and so forth. It's order in that thing. Somebody has to be over the radio and talking to the higher ups. Somebody has to lay down suppression fire. And while this man is laying down suppression fire, these men also have to attack from a different point. It's order in this thing. But if everybody wants to be that type guy, well, what are you doing? It just can't be in this army.
Yeah, Apostle Paul said that it can all be the eye, it can all be the thumb, it can all be the knee. With a body has different parts. You have to have a head, a neck. It's plain, man.
Yeah, you can bring it out. I gotta find this real quick.
All right, this is the book of Sirach, chapter 3, verse 18. This goes into selfless service. It says, the greater thou art, the more humble thyself, and thou shalt find favor before Yahawah. So if you have certain gifts, the scripture tells you that a man's gifts make it room for him. You're supposed to use your gifts to edify the brother next to you, to edify the body. You're not supposed to use your gifts to lord over brothers, to pull rank on brothers, to try to exalt yourself. in captivity. The scripture says, the greatest thou art, the more humble thyself. That goes into selfless service. You got to put other men before you. And we have countless examples of that. You know, the elders of this camp, the elder of Louisiana, different elders that we met in different states, they become greater servants. The higher they get up in the ranks, the more they serve younger brothers. They serve beautiful examples for us coming up into the truth, man.
If I could add to you, the whole thing of this truth and what Yahawashi is about is order. This whole thing, it has order in it. You never get far with anything if you don't have a correct order of something. All right, so I got a precept, 1 Corinthians 14 and 40. Let all things be done in decently and in order.
Decently?
Yeah, decently in order.
Yeah.
So, again, this whole thing of selfless service is that you need to humble yourself down, Jake. Like, we got the one guy, we're not going to bring his name up, but he had a thing with order and being put in his place.
Yeah.
He couldn't be a student and learn. Like, come on, like it's not, for at least for some, it's not hard to just humble down and have your ears open, be all ears. Get taught the game correctly to where when it's your time to get in the game, you could do how the men has done before you.
And we all had to go through the same process. Every one of us. None of us just jumped off, I'm gonna jump off the porch. I got 800 precepts. I'm a man of the Lord now. No, you have to come in the right way, through the straight gate.
Right.
That you can't just go, you can't join Esau's military by buying some camouflage and then you just show up, you on the battlefield one day. You gotta go through basic training. How you just show up in the middle of a battle? Nobody ever seen you before. We don't know you. We don't know what you're capable of. Can you shoot? Can you aim? Like what?
You liable to kill one of us.
Yeah.
You can't even wield your sword.
Yeah.
You
can't just pop up on the battlefield and camouflage and say I'm a soldier now. You gotta go through the proper channels, Jake. Jake just pop up in the middle of a war. I'm here. I'm ready.
He's making his own path.
Yeah.
And I want to be number one.
Yeah, I want to be the top soldier.
Come on, man.
Without going through basic training. Come on, Jake.
It don't work like that. To add along what selfless service is understanding that you have to be brotherly in this thing. It's about brotherly love, which is, in part of our law, statutes, and commandments. Brotherly love is a part of that. And you're not going to get far in this thing without, us keeping each other up. So the precept I have for that is Romans 12 and 10. Be kindly affectionate one to another with brotherly love, in honor, preferring one another. Point blank, period. It's simple. Brother, it's in the precept alone. Brotherly love.
It breaks itself down.
It breaks itself down.
You can't be a band of brothers in arms without being a brother. How you gonna be brothers in arms but you're not brotherly? And this
You're
is
just in arms.
Yeah, you're just in arms. This is the gospel according to St. John chapter 15, verse 13. Greater love have no man than this, than a man laid down his life for his friends. And that's selfless service, man. You got to be ready to die for your brother. You got to be ready to die for Yahawashi, because he died for his brothers.
He died for his brothers, man.
He set the perfect example.
Like the scripture saying, Romans, hey, you're going to be joint heirs with the Lord. You know what I'm saying? But to be joint, you got to be connected. All right? It's a two-way street with that. All right? The Lord ain't just died for your sins, so you could keep on sinning and not, follow according to His will, man. No, you got something you have to do in return. All right, hey.
Yeah, I'm under grace right now. I can just do what I want.
You can do whatever, and still reap the rewards. Nah, bro, it don't work that way.
No, nothing works that way.
Yeah, what do you know that works that way? It's nothing.
Nothing.
Come on, man.
And we're going to see what happened if you don't have that selfless service, if you don't have that brotherly love. This is Matthew's 12 and 25. And Yahawashi knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. So if you don't have the brotherly love in this thing of preferring one another, of upholding each other and being against each other, this thing, it'll never stand. It's too much division in this thing. And again, brotherly love is something that's definitely important in this truth. whether that's being in His truth and also being in the field. You can't be. Now, I can tell you for one thing, I don't want to be in the field with no man who I know doesn't like me and I don't like him.
Yeah. You're in life and death situations with somebody that hates you, he hates your race. You a so-called Negro on the battlefield with Clayton from from backwood Mississippi. He hates Negroes. Y'all gonna go fight the Arabs together, man. As soon as you get in front of him, next thing you know,
a mishap.
A mishap. Yeah.
Or say some type of scenario, or if you was to get shot and it's a window that he probably could come and save you. He could drag you and get you out of there. I don't like this dude, man. Like that's good for him.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know what happened, Captain. He got shot and he died from the first bullet.
Yeah.
Come on, man. It'll never stand. The brotherhood wouldn't stand if there was any type of friction in between.
Yeah, brothers have different personalities, brothers from different walks of life. So you gotta be spiritual to be jointly fit. You can't be carnal. You can't judge a man based on he this complexion. I only like dark skinned Jakes. Or he from this side of town. I don't rock with the Ninth Ward. All this madness, man. You have to be spiritual to be joined into a spiritual army. Just like you got to be a super coon to be a part of Esau's army. You can't be a black power, a pro-black militant in Esau's army. You're surrounded by a bunch of Edomites. You got to put that off and be a super coon to serve Esau. So likewise, when you come into the truth, you got to be super right. Well, not over righteous, but you have to be cleansed by this word. You got to be spiritual to be part of a spiritual army.
You got anything else for the what was that you brought up? The self-service collide?
One second, let me see.
Yeah, because I had Romans 12, but you read that for the other one. That applies to so many different. You have to present your body as a living sacrifice in order to be a soldier. You can't be on the front lines, scared to shoot. You can't hold back your sword from blood. Right. You gotta. That goes into so many different things, but you gotta.
Y'all got it, bro.
Okay.
So
we
go on honor.
Yeah, I hit honor already.
Oh, okay. Oh, I had want to get the definition of honor. So it's circa 1200. Honor, glory, renown, fame earned. Honor, dignity, distinction. And there's a difference between someone that's famous because of folly, a TikTok video going viral, and fame that's earned. You put in the work. In the kingdom of heaven, the 144,000 are going to have honor. They're going to have fame that's earned, which those men, ultimately, Abaratazah were of that number. Those men were chosen from the foundation of the earth, but the Lord still set it up to where they could earn their glory. He could have just given us the kingdom. He could have given us the kingdom from the beginning. But he had us go down to a lower state to understand good versus evil, to understand sin, and to work out our own salvation with fear and trembling. So in the kingdom, we're going to have honor. We're going to have, those are the men. Those are the men that stood up to the Romans. Those are the men that stood up to the Babylonians. Those are those dudes. We're going to have honor in the kingdom.
I'm pretty much ready for personal courage.
Okay, kind of. Get this in order. This is Proverbs 21, verse 21. He that followeth after righteousness and mercy findeth life, righteousness, and honor. And this word honor in the Hebrew is kabawad, which is glory, glorious, abundance, riches, splendor, reputation, reverence. So we're going to have a reputation and reverence in the kingdom. That's important to have, Jake. Jake want that on this side by being a Freemason, by being a sellout, by being a coon. You're going to have reverence and glory and honor and a reputation in the kingdom of heaven, and it's going to be all righteous.
If I could say, man, to obtain those things on this side, man, you got to do all kind of lewd acts, man, and things that go against what you stand for as a man.
Things that go against nature.
Nature itself, man. Hey, go ahead.
They got the real quick. They got the G Herbo lyrics. These Jakes want to be kings, but they doing peasant shit. You can't be a king out here, Jake. In this world, you dig? It's full of folly. It's full of BS. You have to give up something in
committing all kind of lewd activity, man. Lasciviousness.
But the next one is personal courage. Personal courage is my favorite one based off this definition.
I got you.
Personal courage, it says to face fear, danger, or adversity, physical or moral. Personal courage has long been associated with our army. With physical courage, it is a matter of enduring physical duress and at times risking personal safety. Facing moral fear or adversity may be a long, slow process of continuing forward on the right path, especially if taking those actions is not popular with others. You can build your personal courage by daily standing up for and acting upon the things that you know are honorable.
I got gunsmoke for you right here.
Come on.
Cocked and loaded.
Bring it up.
This 2 Timothy, I don't know if I brought this out already, but this 2 Timothy 1:7. For Yahawashi hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. This is the point right here. Be not thou therefore ashamed of the testimony of our Lord, nor of me, his prisoner, but be thou partaker of the afflictions of the gospel according to the power of Yahawashi. Alright? Hey, that's wrapped in everything you just said, wrapped in a spiritual nutshell.
Good.
Good. This the etymology of the word courage. Circa 1300, it just means heart, and that applies to today. You know, when Jake say, "Oh, he got heart."
Yeah.
What does that mean? He has courage.
Yeah.
It says valor, quality of mind, which enables one to meet danger and trouble without fear. Which that backs up the precept in Timothy that the brother just read. You know, you're still gonna be put in situations where you may be afraid, but you're gonna act in a way that's manful. You're not gonna buckle.
Right.
You're not gonna quiver and run away. That's a coward. This Deuteronomy 31:6, it says, "Be strong and of good courage. Fear not, nor be afraid of them. For Yahawah thy power, he it is that doth go with thee. He will not fail thee, nor forsake thee." Plain. We got the Lord on our side, so who should we fear?
None.
You got it?
Before I bring out a precept, my favorite part of this definition was you can build your personal courage by daily standing up for and acting upon the things that you know are honorable. So, in other words, standing on business. Everything that we do in this truth, we're standing on business, and we know what the possible outcomes of it can be. And for the words of Kaya, if the Lord's okay with it, I'm okay with it. You dig? So we understand that we're going to be thrown in prison. You dig? Based on just the one example, which I got the precept behind it, Revelations 2:10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. So, plain, we know what the possible outcomes of this thing could be. We know that we're all not going to make it. Our brothers out, we do. You dig? But we understand it. We have that personal courage to still stand on business, knowing the outcome of it. And most Jakes, they'll fold after the first couple of words of prison.
Yeah.
Prison, I don't want to go to prison. Faithful to death. Like, why I gotta die? But they don't understand the last part. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life.
Right, and that goes back to the first point, which was loyalty.
Yeah.
The word loyalty means faithful. So how can you show courage to stand up to death if you don't have faith that the Lord can reward you after death?
Right.
All of these things coincide. You have to have faith in Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, faith in His word, faith in His promises, and that puts you in a manful spirit that you're ready to take anything, including death. It tells you in Romans the 8th chapter that death can't even separate us from the love of Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi. But you have to have that. You have to believe that. You can't just read it. You got to actually believe.
You know, in order to believe something, you have to have knowledge of something, right? And wisdom, Sophia, you know, she comforts us. She gives us everything we need, you know, to continue within this life, man. To not to continue as in, you know, living in Babylon, but to push on.
This is our life.
Yeah, this is our life. This gives us the spiritual energy we need to keep it trucking, right? To keep marching. You know, Man, they got, just look at the apostles, man. For over 35 years, these men have been treading on and on and on. Constant battle. All right, no rest stops. Just been constant. And how you think they able to do this? A regular guy put in their position with such a heavy load, they wouldn't be able to do that, man. It's this word that grounds us, right? The Kakwadash, man.
To add along, the place is back of being a soldier, of being a soldier in the field. Before you go out to battle, you have to come to acceptance that, hey, I might not come back home.
Yeah.
If you out there and you scared, you risking the next man. You're in the danger in the next man's life.
Oh,
you being scared. Yeah.
I'm good on that.
I don't even want no dealers with you, man. If you scared, what they say? If you scared, go to church.
Yeah.
If you scared, go home.
Right, that's a commandment. It's the book of Deuteronomy chapter 20. I'm gonna read 1 and then jump to 8. Like, you can read all of this. Deuteronomy 20 goes into the laws of warfare, being in the army of Israel, which we're in. All right, this verse 1, it says, when thou goest out to battle against thine enemies and seest horses and chariots and a people more than you, be not afraid of them. For Yahawah thy power is with thee, which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. So it's a commandment to not be afraid of the heathen. It's a commandment to not be afraid of Esau, the government, the CIA, the Bilderberg group, all of these different heathen nonsense, man. But this verse 8, it says, and the officers shall speak further unto the people, and they shall say, what man is there that is fearful and faint-hearted? Basically cowardly, afraid, scary. Let him go and return unto his house, lest his brethren's heart faint as well as his heart. So it's a commandment to send cowards back home. You can't come out on the battlefield if you're scary. That's a commandment in our law. And this, again, deals with carnal warfare, but it applies spiritually. Even more so spiritually. If you're a man that doesn't have faith, how can you be in the household of faith? How can you prophesy the downfall of Babylon the Great with Esau and all his technology that he has, but deep down you don't really believe? You're going to have to believe. This man is about to, tells you in Revelation 12 and 12, he's going to come down with great wrath because he knows that he has a short time. This man has drones. He has biological warfare. He has all kinds of things we haven't even seen. So if you don't have faith in a higher power, you're going to fold.
You finished.
You're done.
And if I could say this, hey, yo, and I know I'm speaking for like-minded men, all across the four corners of the earth. All right, we not sitting up here like, no, we just know mighty men and, nah. Hey, we have faith in Yahawah Shai that when we trapped in that corner, the Lord gonna lift up that standard. All right, and even if we fall, like the brother went into, we have something planned after that. The Lord has something planned after that. We don't lose right there. Game not over. All right, as long as we continue within His word.
I got 2 precepts just to back exactly up what you were saying. Matthew 16 and 28. Verily,
Go ahead.
come. Verily I say unto you, there be some standing here which shall not taste of death till they see the Son of Man coming in His kingdom. The key word is some. So we know that some of us may fall. But are we tripping off of it? No. Because we know what's at the end of this road. You dig? We don't really have the end of the road. The road is going to continue. Regardless if you on the right side or the left side. Even though the left side, they're going to have to really go through something. You dig? But if you're on the right side, everlasting life. The last precept I have is Revelations 14 and 13. And I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, Write, blessed are the dead which die in the Lord from henceforth. Yea, said the Spirit, that they may rest from their labors and their works do follow. So again, we not tripping off of it. We know if we follow in the footsteps of the Lord, if we do His will to the best of our ability, our spiritual currency gonna go up with us. We gonna be alright at the end of the day.
Yeah, our works follow us, and it tells you in Corinthians that those that die in the Lord, they're going to be in the chariots, waiting for us. So you can't take an L if you're serving the Lord in a righteous army.
I got a pre for you if you. Hey, this is 1 Thessalonians 4 and 16. All right, it says, For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of Yahawah. And the dead in Hamashiach shall rise first. Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the cloud to meet the Lord in the air. And so shall we ever be with the Lord. Wherefore, comfort one another with these words. Man, that's a.
If that doesn't fill you with courage, you just don't have faith. You don't believe.
What does it say? Comfort. You tell you comfort with these words.
Yeah. And I can write this out, bro. This spirit stays on us, all right? And men like-minded.
Gonna get integrity.
Okay. Yeah, we can get integrity.
Just the etymology of the word integrity. Circa 1400s, innocence, blamelessness, purity, and the root word of integrity is integer, which is a whole number. So to have integrity just means to be whole. And our forefather Jacob was whole. He was a perfect man. Perfect in the scriptures means whole. It means complete. It doesn't mean you don't make mistakes. It means you're whole. You don't want for anything. And this is the regular definition in the dictionary. It says the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles, moral uprightness, the state of being whole and undivided. And that backs up what you brought out in Matthew about a kingdom divided against itself. If you an army and you divided, how are you going to defeat the enemy? That's Esau's main tactic, is divide and conquer.
Divide and conquer. You said.
You have to have integrity to not be divided.
Yeah, okay. The integrity definition on the 7 values is not really much, but it's plain. Do what's right legally and morally. Integrity is a quality you develop by adhering to moral principles. So again, standing on business. And we know our forefathers, they were men that had integrity. They first and foremost is Job. And I have right here Job. Should I get the whole thing? Job 2? Kind, okay. Yeah, Job 2.
Starting at 1, or what you want to hit the point, or what? Now hit the point.
Yeah, kind. You could start at 3.
All right. This is Job, the 2nd chapter, verse 3. It says, "And the Lord said unto Satan, Hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that feareth Yahawah, and what's that? Escheweth evil."
I mean, he avoids evil.
Kind. And still he holdeth fast his integrity. All throughout thou movest me against him to destroy him without cause. And Satan answered the Lord and said, Skin for skin, yea, all that this man hath will he give for his life. But put forth thine hand now and touch his bone and his flesh, and he will curse thee to thy face. And the Lord said unto Satan, Behold, he is in thine hand, but save his life.
Let me stop right there. So right then and there, the Lord is giving permission to Satan, which we know that could be another lesson in Islam. He's giving permission to Satan to do what you got to do. He's saying that I could get him to curse you out, Lord. I could get him to lose his integrity of him standing on what he says that he stand on. Keep going.
So went Satan forth from the presence of the Lord and smote Job with the sore boils, with sore boils from the sole of his foot unto his crown. And he took him a potsherd and scrape himself withal, and he sat down among the ashes, and then said his wife unto him, Dost thou still retain thy integrity? Curse Yahawah and die. But he said unto her, Thou speakest as one of the foolish women speaketh. What? Shall we receive good at the hand of Yahweh, and shall we not receive evil? In all this did not Job sin with his lips? Beautiful.
Job kept his integrity at the end. His woman was telling him, just curse the Lord. But nah, Job basically, are you foolish? Are you stupid? I'm not about to do that. You tripping? Are we just supposed to recompense nothing but good and not get evil? Like Job understood what came with this. So again, that's integrity right there. That man had morals of standing on the Lord's business. He's not going, we're not going to curse the Lord out. We know we know everything of what's happening and why it's happening. So it's no reason for us to ask, why, Lord, why did this happen? Why you kill that baby? Why you so on and so forth? We know what this about. We know what we here for.
Knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability of thy times. That was a weary point for Job. But what happened? His knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, took over. He didn't let his afflictions overthrow his mind, or his flesh overthrow his spirit. His spirit kept his flesh intact. You got it, bro.
That tells you in Hebrews that Yahawashi is the anchor to our souls.
Yeah.
Right? An anchor is something that keeps you stable, keeps you grounded when those waves come. But on the subject of Job, this is Job 31, verse 6. Let me be weighed in an even balance, that Yahawah may know mine integrity. And that's Job is a forefather of the prophets, man. Just like all of the men that came before us, they're shining examples of men that had integrity. Daniel, of course, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego thrown in the lion's den. All of these people that came before us, these great men, they serving as an example. It's like that was Daniel in the lion's den. It was they were thrown in the fire. But the point is, these are all examples of how we're supposed to maintain our integrity in times of great distress and turmoil. And the Lord said He's going to lift up a standard when the enemy comes in like a flood. So that's integrity, honor, selfless service, courage, respect, duty, and loyalty.
Just to add one more precept in it, just to top it off with Job 13:15. Though he slay me, yet will I trust in him, but I will maintain my own ways before him.
Beautiful.
Even though, like I said, Job went through so much. Job went through sickness, his family dying, and so on and so forth. Job went through so much, but again, he charged it to the game. He know what this about. He know what he's standing for. He has the integrity. He has his morals, which, not even being a soldier, integrity, that's something that's needed in life, in general. In a man.
As a man.
God, not even just being a soldier. If you have no integrity, you can't be trusted.
You can't be a soldier without being a man.
That's right.
Don't listen to Esau. There's no female soldiers in the army of Israel. It doesn't work like that.
God.
That's all I have.
That's pretty much all I had too.
Well, I hope you brothers was edified by this lesson. Before we go, we're going to give all praises and infinite honors to
Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, bahasham, rakakadash.
Double honors to the elders and apostles who taught us His word, the truth and sincerity. Shalawam.
Shalom.